welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering, with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck text that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we have for you Tergrid, God of Fright. So, a pretty competitive commander. Most people won't even let you sit down at a shop if you pull this commander out. And we are doing it on a budget, I would say. So we are running kind of a mid-range build here of Tergrid. Very, very focused on getting everyone to discard, get Tergrid out quickly, and then forcing that sacrifice and discard so that you're taking all of their stuff. If they don't deal with her, it gets pretty out of control pretty quickly, and everyone just hates you, and then you get the one game and you can't play it again. So, Tergrid, God of Fright, deck tech for everyone today. Our TCG market value of this deck is $197 to $289. Land count is very, very focused on the basic front, with 28 of the 32 being swamps, and then 4 of those being non-basic. So, Tergrid says whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you get it. Gross. Let's see how we break this. So here is all of the discard we are running in the deck. We're running Vicious Rumors, which forces everybody to discard a card and then also makes them mill. Unmasks lets you look and choose the card to discard, so really broken there. Siphon Mind gets you draw off the discard. Mind Slash is requiring you to sack a creature, but then you get to look and choose the card and they discard it. Mind Slicer is making everyone discard their hand when it dies. Mind Rake is making one person discard 2, or you could pay into the overload. Divest is letting you reveal and then choose an artifact or creature, and then you're getting that. Drill Bit is also telling you to reveal it and choose the non-land card and force them to discard. Ill-Gotten Gains, really good here. Everybody discards their card and then returns up to 3 cards from their graveyard to their hand. However, Tergrid's ability will happen first at the discard, so whatever they're dumping, you're immediately going to get if it's a permanent card. Elderfane Disciples making the single discard. Gaia Reach Sanitarium's giving everyone a draw, but then also forcing a discard on a land. And then Burglar Rats doing it off of ETB, making everybody discard as well. So more discard in the deck. Akalot's Deepest Betrayal says when he attacks, everybody's discarding. And then for those that can't, you draw. So a little bit of added value there. In addition, if they discard a land, you're getting a bat with flying. Arterial Flow is making everyone discard 2 cards. Dark Deals making everybody wheel, except they get -1. Plague Crafter is starting our Sacrifice Suite, which we'll go into on the next slide. And then Awaken the Earthstyle says everybody discard, so you're not only getting all of the benefits there, but then you're also getting that many black zombie tokens. So sacrificing. So you see what the deck's doing. We got like 2 themes here. We're discarding and we're sacrificing. So Vona's Hunger is making everybody sacrifice half of their creatures if you have the city's blessing. Otherwise, they sack 1. Soul Shatter is making everybody sack the highest mana cost one. Sheoldred's having this happen at upkeep and also giving you recursion. Merciless Executioner, Fleshbag Marauder, and Demon's Disciple, all when they enter, force everybody to sacrifice. So you're usually choosing one of them, and everyone else is losing something solid. Mire and Misery is doing it for creatures and enchantments. Liliana's Triumph is making everybody sack a creature. Braids is doing it at end step, but making it a choice, and if they don't choose to do it, then you draw. Desolation says at the end of each turn, each player who tapped a land for mana during that turn sacrifices a land, so super broken. Archfiend of Depravity says at each end step they have to choose 2 creatures and sack them, so that's consistency there. And then Killing Wave says depending on how much you pay for X, they're going to sacrifice that unless they pay X life. So as long as the X is high enough, they probably won't pay into it. All right, and then as if we're not being mean enough, we're going to be mean some more. So Waste Not is allowing extra benefits off of all this discarding. So depending on what they discard, you either get a creature, mana, or draw. Tiny Bones is getting you draw at end step if they discarded this turn, which they most likely will be. Veto, every time you gain life, someone's losing that much life. Smallpox is saying that everybody's going to lose a life. Discard a card, sack a creature, and sack a land. So it's getting you a ton of value for 2 mana with Tergrid out. Fraying Omnipotence is making everything halved. So discarding half and sacrificing half, you're getting all of it. Rankle, Master of Pranks, and Rankle's Prank itself is allowing you to choose multiple modes, and 2 of those modes being what's going to benefit Tergrid, so discarding and sacrificing. Exsanguinate you can pay into to make everybody lose life and you gain it. Death Cloud is making everyone lose X, discard X, and sacrifice X creatures and X lands, depending on what you pay for X, so similar to Killing Wave. And then Pox, super old card, but super broken here. Everybody's losing a third of their life, discarding a third of their hand, and sacrificing a third of their creatures. So broken for Tergrid, because you're going to get all of that stuff. Being even meaner, so we do have an infinite combo in the deck with Professor Onyx and Chain of Smog. So Professor Onyx is one of the only mono black cards that has Magecraft, and it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent's losing 2 life and you're gaining 2 life. So if you cast Chain of Smog for 2 mana, target player is going to discard 2 cards from their hand, and then that player may copy this spell and choose new targets for the copy. So you just keep targeting yourself, and then you get to do this infinitely without having to keep paying the mana. So you're just copying the spell, and then because you're copying the spell, Professor Onyx is draining everybody for 2 and you're gaining 2. And then we've got some protection here for Tergrid. It's very important that Tergrid doesn't die before this starts going. So we're running the cheap spells here that keep her safe. Supernatural Stamina, Undying Evil, Kaya's Ghost Form, Professor's Warning, all make her either indestructible or protected if she's going to die. And then Malachor Rebirth does the same, but it has a land on the back, so you choose target creature, you're going to lose 2 life, but if they happen to die, they come back tapped under your control. And then we've got some tutors and some draw in the deck as well. So the tutors we're running are Diabolic Intent, which requires you to sack something and then you can go find something. And Razaketh the Foul-Blooded, big flying trampled demon here, but you can repetitively pay 2 life and sack a creature to go find cards that you need. Sign in Blood, Read the Bones, Phyrexian Arena, all giving you draw. Geth's Grimoire is really good in this deck because you're forcing discards to happen and you're going to be drawing off of those. Asylum Visitor is at the beginning of upkeep. If you happen to not have cards in hand, then you get to draw and lose a life. And then Dread Presence is saying that you get to draw off of swamps coming in. And then the removal we're running in the deck, most of the removal is pretty specific to mono black. So Mutilate, giving board wipe, giving -1 to all creatures for each swamp you control. Defile, doing the same thing, but it's targeted. Baleful Mastery, you can pay 2 mana instead of paying the 4, and someone draws, but you get to exile something. Tragic Slip is letting you do -13 to something as long as a creature died this turn, and Imp's Mischief is allowing you to redirect a target spell to a different target, so more protection for Tergrid there. And then our mana base in the deck, so a little bit of infinite mana here with Magus of the Coffers and Umbral Mantle. So Umbral Mantle says for 3 you can untap a creature, and Magus says for 2 you get black equal to the amount of swamps you control. So this most of the time goes infinite as long as you have enough swamps. Solemn's fetching you a land, Ornithopters are Mana Dork, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, and Bubbling Muck are all the ways to get Tergrid out a turn or 2 earlier than that 5-turn count. Expedition Map is also fetching you any land, and the land we're most likely fetching is Cabal Coffers, because Cabal Coffers for 2 is giving you black again for each swamp that you control. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video, and if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.